Your home is your biggest investment. And around Pittsburgh, nobody protects it like a neighbor who's been doing this for over 30 years. Bella Construction. Family owned, fair pricing, free inspections. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and doors. Done right the first time. Serving Irwin and the Pittsburgh area since 1995. Call 724-515-5163 or visit mybellaRoof.com.
On the Bylines is back after a week off. Joe Starkey, Tim Benz with you. Yeah, we are back from training camp, so I don't have the roosters cockle-doodle-doing in the background. I don't have the chickens going crazy. I'm just here in my kitchen by myself. Joe is back. How was the trip to Charleston for the drop-off, Joe? Joe, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, no.
Now?
I can hear you now. Yes, I can.
A lot of people would have preferred it the other way, I think. It was sad to drop her off at college, but also happy. You know what I mean? It's what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to fly the coop. Is that the term?
Fly the coop. Yeah.
Fly the nest.
Leave the nest.
Yeah.
Either
I love
way.
your Syracuse hat. It looks great today. My all-time favorite Syracuse athlete, Pearl Washington, the man who transformed the Big East.
I met Pearl a couple times before he passed. I didn't cover him, obviously. He was there about 10 years before I was. You know, actually, speaking of kids getting dropped off at school, the reality check for me is my college roommate dropped his kid off at Syracuse this past week.
Oh,
what
boy.
A kick in the testicles that was.
That is.
Oh, my God.
That's taking a telephone pole right to the farms. That hurts.
Hey, good interview with Jim Rutherford yesterday. You want to just start there real quick before we we jump on board with the Steelers and quarterback talk? I thought it was pretty interesting what he just flat out said to you. I was actually laughing to myself listening to the radio as I was driving. Same guy, same dude from Syracuse. His daughter goes to Pitt. I was dropping some stuff off for her in Oakland. I'm listening to you on the car radio on the drive out there. And Rutherford goes, yeah, I shouldn't have gone to Vancouver. My career should have ended in Pittsburgh. Did that get any play in Vancouver? That was a great quote.
I don't know, but as soon as he said it, I looked over at Bob with a mix of, wow, what a quote, and oh no. You know, sort of a feel-good interview because he got elected to the Penguins Hall of Fame. But can you imagine being in Vancouver and hearing him say, I never should have come here?
Never should have gone. Yeah, exactly. Quite the reality check. But no, that was a good interview. It's going to be a great class. I mean, between him and Murphy and Fleury, I mean, my gosh.
Don't forget about Jack McGregor.
Well, Jack McGregor too, but the Fleury presence alone will pack the house. And
oh my God,
you know, Murphy was one of those guys. You know, if you look back at those glory days of the Penguins, one of those guys who I don't want to say he was so underrated, he was overrated, but everybody calls him underrated all the time to the point I don't think he's underrated anymore. And obviously, he's deserving of this honor.
He's one of the greatest offensive defensemen who's ever played.
Exactly.
That's just a fact. And Fleury, my God, the place will be. How would you like to be Murphy right now, going in there with Fleury? By the way, you know what I mean. It's just he's the most understated guy in the world, Larry Murphy, and he's going to be going in there with Fleury. Rutherford doesn't give a damn either way. I mean that in a good way. You know, he just shows up, speaks his mind, and leaves. He was maybe one of the last truly old school GMs there ever was. You know what I mean, Tim?
No, I know what you mean. And I was actually interested, and I wanted to go back and listen to the end of your interview because I had to get out of the car too quickly before it was over. But did you ever at any point sort of ask him, like, how would you handle this situation now? Because I'm curious, and I'm also curious as to how Kyle Dubas is handling it, quite honestly.
It's a great question. And if I know Rutherford, he would have said, I'm having enough problems of my own right now in Vancouver. But that would have been a good question. Would have been a great question. What?
Because I look at it, and it's a tough putt for Dubas, and obviously he's got money to spend. If he didn't have money to spend, he wouldn't have signed Billy Koivu and Tommy Novak to about $50 million total between the two of them.
I know, and the perpetual question with the Penguins is how much are they invested in trying to win now versus how much are they invested in the future? And the Koivunen deal, well, we talked about it, was very odd to say the least, but at least there's an out. I mean, the more you read and look at it, if he's a total bust, in other words, if he plays this year like he played last year, I think 2 years they can get out of it.
What, Koivunen?
Yeah, more or less.
In what regard? How would they get out of it? Do you mean entirely?
I thought that there was some clause where they could get out of it. Am I wrong about that?
I might have missed that, but if there is, then good, because they might need it. I don't see this being a great signing, quite honestly. But what are you drinking, by the way? What was in that?
A little bit of tea and honey. Still drinking it.
Back on coffee or not?
Yeah. The team, here it is. The team retains a favorable buyout option under NHL rules where the buyout cost drops to 33% instead of the standard 2/3. So I believe after a couple years.
Okay. So it's not a total out. They still have to buy him out. It's just a more favorable way to get out of it, is what you're saying.
But buy him out at 1/3 of the price over a lot of years. Like it's still not a good thing if he busts, believe me, but it would hardly ruin the franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And at that point, they might have some other money coming off the books too.
Right.
So it'd make it a little bit easier. But yeah, they're stuck. They're perpetually stuck in the middle so long as the past doesn't want to say goodbye. And the past doesn't want to say goodbye. And the new owners sure as heck don't want to kick them out the door. So that's where they are, and that's where it's going to be for a while. What about tonight, Joe? What are you looking forward to tonight? Obviously, the quarterback competition between Drew Aller and Will Howard is there. Although I don't know if it's a competition between Drew Aller and Will Howard. I kind of appreciate the way Howard said it. It's a competition between Will Howard and Will Howard. I mean, is he good enough to keep? Because he's ostensibly, you would think, the way McCarthy's talking now, the fourth quarterback, unless Mason Rudolph is really a target of the Jets, as we heard yesterday on your station, or some other team that wants to knock their socks off with an offer.
Yeah, how about that? If Mason Rudolph just switched locker rooms after the game. You remember playing the Jets was the site of one of his worst days when he had that injury. Remember, it was him and Duck in the same game. Were you at that game?
I was not at that game, but I remember watching it, and they were both in there, both playing, and that was a terrible loss. If they win that game, they probably make the playoffs.
And that one fan was dressed like Duck and had a Mason jersey, and he kept switching. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but that was basically, that man was all of us that year, because that's all everybody was doing, was going back and forth between Mason and Duck.
Right. I don't know, man. The more I think about it, isn't it a competition between Aller and Howard? Like, if Howard stinks and Aller shows out again, doesn't that make it more likely that Howard gets cut, or they try to move him to the practice squad or something else, and Aller just steps in as the number 3 guy?
Yeah, sure. But, I mean, as long as Howard is here, I think it's harder for Aller to be the number 3 guy. It'll still be perceived as a race. If you're going to try to sneak Howard through the practice squad, is it really worth it? I mean, I guess you could. If he's on the practice squad, then fine, so be it. Then you've got him in your back pocket for next year.
Yeah. When
you're reconstructing the offensive room, the quarterback room. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be hard to get him through the practice squad anyway.
By whatever method they move him along instead of keeping him on the active roster, I think tonight is a huge opportunity for Drew Aller. And it would also depend on Howard playing poorly, but it's a huge opportunity for Aller to step in as the number 3 guy. And on this team, the number 3 quarterback on this team, just like the backup quarterback, is different than any other team because you have an ancient man as your starter.
Which is part of the reason I don't have a problem at all with them keeping 4 if they go in that direction.
I don't have a problem either. I don't either.
I mean, at the expense of what? Gabe Rubio as your 6th defensive lineman, and a 9th offensive lineman, a 5th inside linebacker when Herbig's going to soak up a lot of snaps at inside linebacker, a 10th defensive back when a bunch of guys might start on IR anyway. I mean, what are we talking about here? If the bigger deal is to potentially have bullets in the gun next year when you're going to lose 2 quarterbacks potentially anyway, then I see the greater need to keep the 4th quarterback as opposed to the 9th offensive lineman.
I'm with you on that. I am. the question is Mason the best choice as a backup? Let me ask you this. Here's a future question. Percent chance that next year in camp, they'll probably bring in a fourth guy, whatever.
Yeah.
That the top 3 quarterbacks coming into camp next year for the Steelers, in any order you want, are Aller, Rudolph, and Howard. I think there's a good chance of that.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that, because I think it's entirely possible that they're in the 9-10 win range again, and they don't get up the draft board to take QBX to muddle the picture even more. So, if Rodgers plays the bulk of the season, they're a 9-10 win team. They're drafting in the low 20s again.
Right.
Rudolph is there and affordable. They could very easily bring him back one more. Now, the question is, they bringing him back to be the starter, or are they bringing Mason back? I don't know if Mason would sign for roughly what he signed for this year to be a backup to Drew Aller or to Will Howard.
What else is he going to do? What are Mason's options? What?
He could go somewhere else and just be a backup somewhere else. You know how it is, Joe. Like, if you're getting bypassed for a job, it feels,
He could have left a million times. I mean,
he did leave, and then he's come back when there has. He came back when there were no opportunities better available. Now, I'm just saying that it might not feel like a better opportunity to be wedged behind 2 guys that obviously the franchise thinks has a future, and they don't see the future with you, is what I'm saying.
Future? Mason Rudolph's future is in the past.
Then they don't see you in the present as the starter either, if you're talking about the present.
Have we not reached the point where Mason Rudolph is a backup for life? He has to know that. He's a very smart man. This would be a great opportunity for him to be the Charlie Batch of the Steelers moving forward. My God, he's been here for 1,000,000 years. He's not going to be a starter ever.
So Charlie Batch, though, at times was the 3rd guy, too, remember, behind Tommy and Ben. Right. So he might be that.
It's not a bad gig when you think about it. And this might even be his best chance to start and sort of be, the buffer between those guys and real football. And we'll wait until the wheels fall off, and that'll probably happen 2 or 3 games into the season. And then one of those guys will start. Here's why I think those 3 are a great bet to be back. Because it's very possible that the last 2 sort of game tapes we have on Aller and Howard are really good, the last 3. And we're still not going to know, really, because quarterback is about processing against real speed and real players and real schemes. We're not going to know. And they're not going to know either, not even Mike McCarthy going into next year, but they're going to feel good about it. They're going to come back with Aller and Howard and Rudolph as the caretaker. I'm convinced of that.
Who besides the quarterbacks interests you tonight? Who are you watching?
Marco Rubio at nose tackle. You took a shot at Marco Rubio. I think he's going to be an unbelievable steal for them.
He's the literal nameless gray face. Thank you, Mike Tomlin, who is now actually performing. No, he had a great game against Green Bay.
I think he's a steal.
Okay, but he's a guy you can get through to your practice squad. He's one of these.
No, you can't.
What do you mean?
The game tape is out there on him, and I think people realize that the Steelers made a very, very smart play on him, and I think he's going to get taken if you try to put him on the practice squad.
Okay, so he makes the practice squad he makes the team as the 6th defensive lineman. But that's the thing is, you can keep him. He's just probably not going to play this year at all.
He might.
Yeah, if somebody gets hurt.
Little Ricky Rubio. You might want to keep him. I'm serious about that. But other than him, I'm looking at Roman Wilson and Bernard again very closely. The Caleb Johnson saga is coming to a tragic end here. Does he even get a carry? What's happening with him?
You saw McCarthy fall on the sword for that one. He blamed himself for lack of carries for Caleb Johnson. I feel like sometimes Mike McCarthy sort of gets his vibe on how he's handling things on tape delay. You know what I mean? Like, did you notice his quote this week where he said, look, hey, I've been talking positively about Mason since the spring. And what he meant by the spring was like the late spring, because there were all those sound bites and interviews where he never mentioned Mason at all. Well, he's only talking about the other 3 guys. And I think somebody might have nudged him, or maybe he read an article or heard a show or 2, or McCarthy doesn't talk about Mason at all. Is there something weird going on about that?
Would you be stunned if later today or next week or the week after that we saw a headline that said Mason Rudolph traded? I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be stunned. I mean, did it stun me when I read that quote that came out from your station about the Jets maybe being interested from, what's the guy's name? The ESPN reporter said Asman, who said that on Donnie's show or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, what if Howard's great again tonight? For whatever people think of that, whatever me and you think of that, how meaningful it is. What if he's great again tonight and Aller's great again tonight? I mean, it just, when you're in Mason Rudolph's position in pro sports, it's constantly on the table that you're going to be moved, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Mason Rudolph, for as much as you want to have loyalty to a team and you want to connect with the fan base, the bottom line for you just has to be, what am I making? And where am I playing? I mean, it's like that for goaltenders, backup quarterbacks, left-handed pitchers. Where am I going at the trade deadline? That sort of thing.
Right.
Kirby Yates, that's your lot in life at this point.
Yeah, it's not a bad gig, really, in some ways. Other things I'll be watching. The offensive line. I'll be watching Troy Fatanu. I
mentioned him today in the paper too. I mentioned him at Trib Live as well.
Yeah, I'm curious how that, I guess, experiment, if you want to call it that, he's back to left tackle goes, and also especially maybe Dylan Cook, who blocked like Ron Cook in the opener. I think that's a question mark moving forward, don't you?
I'm trying to picture Ron as a left tackle or a right tackle right now. What if you get run over like Travis Homer did on that first sack of Mason Rudolph?
He blocked like Homer Simpson on that play.
I was there.
You know what Homer Simpson's greatest quote was?
Alcohol, the cause of and the cure of all of life's problems.
Alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. Yes.
Well, with your new hair, Joe, I remember one of my favorite Homer Simpson's moments was I can't remember the context of it, but you know how they drew Homer with the two little hairs over the top of his head?
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, I can't remember what was the cause of it. In one episode, he lost one of the hairs, like one of the hairs broke.
Right.
He stopped and he screamed towards the heavens, "I'm bald!"
Well, I'm not.
No,
what do you think if the side angle on my new hair?
You doing the red light therapy? Do you have a hat? Do they give you a hat?
Here, I'll show you the red light therapy. It's unbelievable.
Wait. Do you have an actual red light, or do they give you one of those skull caps? Oh, wait.
Here's the contraption. I turn it on, and it's a red light. Do you see the red light?
Yeah. Well, they can give that to you like in the form of a helmet that you can put on your head too.
How do you want
to do the whole? You want to do the whole show?
Yeah, I'll do it under here.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
I'm surprised that's not casting more of a red light. I was hoping for you to be like like Tron or something like that.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. Does it make your head itchy?
No, it's rather stimulating. There we go.
You don't look entirely comfortable though. Is that just because the laptop is shooting up at you? Is that basically
Might be.
the problem?
I mean, I'm actually very comfortable. There you go.
Do you have a massage chair? Is that a massage chair?
No.
Oh. You don't have to do it. I mean, like if you're not comfortable, I get.
No, why do you think I'm not comfortable?
Okay, I just want to make sure.
My hair's lighting up red.
It is. Your hair is red. The rest of you isn't. Can we actually see? Will we actually see physical hair growth during the rest of this podcast? We have 10 more minutes.
This isn't weird at all. This is what you do. Is that Chris?
That is Chris who's writing that. Yes.
I mean, this is FDA approved laser hair therapy through New Image. This is what we do.
Will you be pulling your hair out as soon as it grows back in, watching Paul Skenes for the rest of the season, or should they just shut him down? Because I think they should shut him down. What do you think?
Well, along the lines of, would you be surprised if the Mason Rudolph got traded headline came out? I wouldn't be shocked at all. That last start. The fact that they wanted to paint that Don Kelly and Skenes and everybody else as a step forward. Are you kidding me? He walked the first two hitters for the first time in his career. He was dancing through the raindrops the whole time. and was lucky it wasn't a 2-inning start or a 3-inning start. As it was 4 1/3 with 4 walks, 3 runs. They wanted to claim that there was this uptick in velocity. Okay, this was the uptick. Mm-hmm. He's not the same guy.
No, he's not. And the rest didn't help. That's the biggest thing, is that the rest experiment didn't help at all. So that's part of the reason why I would shut him down. And I'm not one, and there seem to be a lot of people out here who are doing this. I'm not one of them, who draw a very thick line between fatigue and injury. I'm not certain that the line is that thick. Like, if he's fatigued, then fatigue can lead to injury, or maybe there's some sort of injury that's leading to the fatigue. I'm with
you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you. Yes.
People want to, and I get it. I get the concept, but I'm not assured that the line is as thick as people are making it out to be. So that's part of the reason I'd shut him down. Here's another reason I'd shut him down. If people want to like delude themselves with the notion that the Pirates are still in it, Paul Skenes is hurting them. He is not helping them at all. He is hurting them in terms of how he's pitching, and how he's burning out the bullpen every time he goes out there. You already got Majinski, who you cannot trust to throw beyond 3 or 4 innings. And now Skenes is out of that mix. You can't trust Jones beyond, 65 to 80 pitches, somewhere in there. Thank God Braxton Ashcraft only needs 8 pitches to go through 9 innings, but you just can't trust Skenes, and he's hurting the team.
A dead arm is a health issue. I'm with you 100% on that. It is a health issue. It may not be, a bad elbow or Tommy John or anything like that, but if you have a dead arm, that's an issue. Dead compared to what it was. And I'm just so over people trying to talk about the velocity as if it's not a big deal. We all know from girls softball to Major League Baseball that pitching is not solely about velocity. But we also know that when somebody has special velocity, that is a separator, that is a difference maker. That's why you get taken number 1 in the draft. That's where all your other pitches work off of special velocity. There is nothing special about Paul Skenes this season. He looks like another guy out there, and it starts with the velocity. If he's throwing 96 coming out of LSU, he doesn't go first overall. There's zero chance of that. And the fact that people try to pass this off, people who played, people who coached, all this, like, oh, no, this isn't a big deal. Yes, it is. If Aroldis Chapman showed up in year 7 of his career throwing 97, I think that's kind of a difference from 103. What are we doing here? If Mizorowski shows up next year throwing 99 even, that's different from 104. When you have 101 in the holster and 102 in the holster and 100 with no effort in the holster, and you never use it again, that's a big deal. Stop trying to gaslight us, or everybody's going to get put under one of these red laser hair therapies.
I was just going to say, that's what Paul Skenes needs, is red light therapy for his right arm. That's exactly what Paul Skenes needs. Actually, get some comments coming in. Pierogies and at leaves a message. Holy bird follicles. Joe has lost it. Penn's Dog 87 says, is Joe doing the show from a women's salon? I don't know. Is red light therapy? Do women use red light therapy for hair growth, or is this?
Yeah, it's for men. Thing? It's for men and women. Women go bald too.
Amy would like to know how our teams are looking this year. Go Mountaineers. I don't know who she means by our teams. If she's talking about college football, I'm not optimistic about my team. I think my team's going to be about a 3 or 4 win team again in the ACC. What do you think of Pitt, Joe? You went to the Pitt practice. What was that, 2 weeks ago? Were you on the South Side?
Yeah, I think they have a star quarterback, and that's where it all begins. I think he's really, Mason Heinschel is really going to show out this year, and the kid is just brimming with confidence. Really impressive kid. Now, does he have the offensive line in front of him that can protect him and open up the run game? I think that's the biggest question with Pitt. As far as West Virginia, Adam Crowley's team and your Syracuse team, I couldn't name one player on either one of them right now, and I don't care.
Yeah, join the club, to be honest with you.
All I care about is my hair growing back.
I went bald watching Syracuse. That's part of the reason why. So let's get to our Trib treat and our Friday free-for-all.
I'll tell you what my Trib treat is.
Go ahead.
My all-time favorite Syracuse football player.
Floyd Little.
That's a good pick right there, but no.
Larry Zonka.
No. Larry Zonka was my dad's favorite player.
Art Monk.
Art Monk's another good pick, but no.
John Mackey. Marvin Harrison.
Jason Mackey, maybe.
John Mackey was a little bit better. Jim Brown.
Did John Mackey write for the Colts website when he was done?
Yeah, and then it moved to then the Colts moved to Indianapolis, so he had to give it up. He had to go back to being a columnist again.
Nope. Little tiny Joe Morris.
Oh, Joe Morris.
Favorite.
Yeah. He was after the wave of 44s. Actually, you know what, Joe? I think it's only USC, Notre Dame, and Pitt might be the three. There's only 3 or 4 schools that have more Hall of Famers than Syracuse does. USC, Notre Dame, Pitt, and maybe Alabama at this point, or Georgia.
Well, yeah, including arguably the greatest football player who ever lived in Jim Brown.
Yep. A 4-sport star at Syracuse, track, lacrosse, and even played basketball. Average double digits one year.
He did that? I did not know.
Yep.
Was that Boeheim's first year?
No, it was before. It was before Boeheim. Let's see here. About 10 years. Boeheim played in the 60s, and Brown played in the mid 50s. So,
do you miss Boeheim?
No, I don't at all. I mean, I miss the fact that, let's be honest, they weren't it was sort of a Tomlin-esque descent with Boeheim. The last few years, what are we doing? Why are we waiting this long? Yeah, that's a better angle right there. Now I can actually see the lights dancing on your head. My Trib treat is, I have seen the future of desserts, and it is the strawberry cannoli at Patty Cake in Bloomfield.
Where?
Patty Cake in Bloomfield. You're familiar with Bloomfield, right?
I lived in Bloomfield for many years.
Yeah, Little Italy days. I talked about this with Madden, and I've not stopped thinking about the strawberry cannoli that I had at Little Italy days.
Now I'm going to go there and get one. Is it still going on, Little Italy days?
No, it was just
Where
this past weekend.
Where did the cannoli come from? What store?
Patty Cake Bakery. It's on the left side if you're heading up from the strip towards Shady Side, kind of around the hospital. It's got a pink sign on Liberty Avenue.
They used to have a place called Alexander's Pasta.
It's that was on the right side, about a block and a half away from where I'm talking about.
Is Tesaro's still there?
It is, yes.
Legendary place.
So is the Pleasure Bar, which is where I spent a lot of my time with Tad Whistle from DVE on the, where is that? It's about midway through up on Liberty.
Yeah.
I guess.
Absolutely legendary. Is it my turn?
Yeah, you got your Friday free-for-all here.
Oh. Well, my free-for-all is I don't want to go bald, which is why I'm going through this. And so far, I think it is stimulating my hair follicles. I hope so. That's what Bob Pompiani tells me. And also Jeff Hathorn gave some positive feedback yesterday. So I'm going to continue.
Positive feedback based on what they're seeing, or positive feedback based on they've done the red light therapy too?
No. Bob only colors his hair. He doesn't do hair therapy. He doesn't need to do hair therapy. He's not balding.
What color would you call Bob's hair right now?
Auburn.
Oh.
It is. It's reddish. Like it's Cam reddish.
It does have a little tint to it,
Yeah. No, he colors it and freely admits that, but he looks great. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Penn's dog also wants to know, do you take super beets as well?
No, but I do like beet salads these days.
I hate beets.
I found a good place where, I never ate them like at Thanksgiving. I couldn't figure out why anybody would. But there's a place over in Sewickley that has a beet salad that's unbelievable. It tastes like chicken, only it's a beet.
What? How does a beet taste like chicken?
I'll show you. I'll bring you a beet salad.
All right. Next time you come over for basketball, we'll have to have beet salad and basketball. Here's an update.
Where are you watching the game tonight?
I'll be there.
You will?
Yeah, I got a write off of it, so I will be there.
All right.
I might even bring a red light cap and just kind of try to blend in, I guess.
You should just sit in your press box seat with one of these. Are you going bald? Let's see your hair.
No, I am going bald. Absolutely. Yes.
Let's see. Oh my God.
Yes. Well, I actually got a real short haircut, so that makes it look worse.
I knew you when you had a full head of hair.
Yeah, it's been a while now. I should use that, Joe.
All right, I'll bring it over.
The Friday free-for-all that I have is we won our Airbnb dispute. Remember I told you about the Airbnb?
Yes.
We won. We won. They lost. We won. Airbnb ruled in our favor. The panel of judges, the panel of experts said they were trying to screw us. We don't have to pay. We won. Justice was served.
They should give you a monetary award because of all the trouble you went to, not just say you don't have to pay. You should actually get paid.
We should get a free rental somewhere.
There or somewhere else. Yeah. Although if you went there, they would probably.
I want a controlling interest in the home is what I want. Whenever they sell that place, I want 1/10% of what they get. I want our money back. I want free tiling for my bathroom now. That's what I want. I want free tiling for my bathroom as a result of this.
Congratulations, Tim. I'm happy for you and Jamie.
So I actually lived what you were talking about with your fight against the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I got to live the experience of victory. Did you get victory in that regard?
Wait, against the Pennsylvania Turnpike? Did I ever take them?
Yeah, didn't you you ranted and raved about the Pennsylvania Turnpike on this show once before? Did anything come of it? Did you take them to court or anything like that?
No, I'm just not paying my tolls.
Oh, okay. I thought you protested. I thought it was going somewhere. I didn't think it was just you venting. I didn't know.
The whole thing is so damn idiotic. It's mind-boggling. You go there. There's no toll booth worker. So then they send you the bill, and then you don't pay the bill, and then you pay the bill late, but they were sending another bill, and then you pay it twice, so then they send you back a check. Just have a toll booth worker. Just have somebody sitting there working in the toll booth.
I agree, Joe. Stimulate the economy like you're stimulating hair growth.
I'll see you, Tim.
All right, I'll talk. Well, Joe and I will be back. He might be under the red light again in a week. We'll see. And then we're going to go into pregame mode before that for the Steelers. Actually, it might be 2 weeks. We're going to have to figure out what to do when I fly to Air Force on Friday, the weekend before Labor Day, Joe. That's going to be the big decision because I'm heading off to Air Force to see Duquesne play the Falcons on that Friday. So we'll have to figure out that one day, but we'll figure it out at some point.
Holy ostrich milk. You should take Skenes on a field trip to one of his alma maters.
Right. Maybe he can go fast in a jet and he can figure out what velocity is like again. I love it when you laugh and put your head back like that. You look so demonic. It's great. You look like a long-lost member of Slipknot or something. All right, we're back next week with Beyond the Bylines here at Trib Live.